Hi, how you doing? I'm Jason D, and hey, thank you for joining me on my YouTube channel, Coach Jason D. So, we're all about well-being, and that, to be as simply as put, is for you to be the best that you can be. Even better, for you to feel the best that you can feel. So, with that, I'm guessing that you're going to need to make a change or two, or a lot. So, I'm going to give you a very quick, short little time to have a think about what changes you would like to make for yourself. Now within that answer is within yourself and not for the perception of others. And also, I want you to just have a little think about this before we move on to one of the guys telling them about their story, is that within your own mind, you've created what we call the state of mind. That is, from the day that you were actually born, the thoughts that you've created about yourself, the boundaries that you've committed yourself to, you have every possibility of breaking them down and for you to go out and do, become, achieve anything that you would like to. Basically, it's only you holding yourself back. So with that, have a good think about it. And you'll see me in a minute as soon as we're finished with a couple of these amazing interviews, and then we'll go further.
Of being open to experience. And what I mean by that is that the way we shift our lives is through an experience. An experience brings forth profound changes within ourselves. So those default settings that we have and that we constantly are responding to don't really shift and change. So a lot of us look for information to make those changes, and so we go seek out self-help books and we do courses, and we look at ourselves and we become critical of ourselves, but yet what happens is that information that we take on, we may take it on for a little while, but as we try and apply those changes, and life has its own way of challenging us, we respond directly through our default settings, and what happens is nothing really changes. But if we're open to an experience and we're open to embracing that experience and going through that experience, profound change can happen.
Making changes is definitely important. It is how we as human beings evolve. If you don't do that, then you'd be stuck on the same plane all the time and you never go anywhere. So it's definitely important, and it's easy to make a change. It's not that hard. All you need to do is find something that you want to do and do it.
Change. Okay, it is important to me. It's important throughout different periods of my life. There are certainly times when I feel very comfortable with things remaining exactly as they are, but they're precisely the times that I realise that I need to change. What changes have I made through my life? Career changes, places of living, and how I look after myself and how I treat myself are all major changes that I've made through different stages of life and continue to make them.
Okay, I think change is a part of life. It's inevitable. You can't get away from it. And how I personally adapt to change, I think, is via a holistic approach. So, particularly with training and lifestyle and being mindful, it's a series of small changes, incremental changes as you go along. It's not this big change, because that's unsustainable. It's, well, what can I do to make the change real and lasting?
Definitely, you've got to keep changing. You've got to look at ways to change. I had a boss that said nothing changes if nothing changes. That's probably the best way to sum it up. If you're not happy with something, you can't wait for other people to change it. You've got to look at the ways of changing it yourself. That's in business, life, family, everything.
Okay, how did you go? So, thinking about it, this is step one. What is it that you've decided that you'd like to change? Part of step one is where or what or why do you feel this way? Yeah, because this is your motivational key. Why am I doing this in the first place?
We all know our own faults. It's whether we want to recognise those faults.
got to resonate, it's got to be meaningful, you've got to understand why you want to do it.
So moving right along now, because we've gone from motivation, let's move on to voicing it.
Well, have a clear goal in mind, have in mind what you want to achieve, and put the support mechanisms around you to ensure that you achieve that success, and know that you are going to have an off day, a bad day. You're going to, fall off the bike as such, and really that's then, this is now, and just get back on and keep going.
Now also, when you're actually telling your friends or whoever you may be telling and asking them for a little bit of help, give them a clear understanding of why you want to make those changes. So if they're willing to want to help you, amazing, you've got great friends and family. If they're not prepared to help enable you make those changes, well, that just may be a change within itself of who you're actually spending time with. So moving forward again, let's go on to another.
It's easy. All you need to do is get up and do it.
Yeah. So
That's
commitment.
Yeah, and do it. I mean, if you every day thinking about something that you want to do, but all you do is think about it when you're sleeping at night, because I think that happens a lot to a lot of people, and you'll never do it. You never change. You'll just be there doing. All you need to do is think. At one point, you'll need to go out there and go get it.
Do the best you can with the circumstances you've got to achieve the outcomes. And it's a bit like an alcoholic. Once you recognise that you have a problem, you then work within your surroundings and change those surroundings as best you can. You're never going to get it perfect, but the way I see it, it's like a group training in the morning. I can come to a group training, may not be my best training, it's 100% better than staying in bed.
So now stage 3 of your change is changing your surroundings, being that, as an example, if I was wanting to lose weight, the first thing I would do would be to empty my pantry of all the sugars and all the fats that aren't required, because you have a new food intake now and it doesn't involve any of those. Anything that is in your surroundings, you need to be accountable for why they are there. So now we're talking about planning, which is stage 4. This is all about how are you going to lay the very first brick. So the first thing about planning is we're making sure that we're actually just taking tiny little baby steps. So as an example, we are building a huge building now, but we need to create a plan to know exactly how, where, when and why this is going to be built.
Make life easy for yourself. Don't set yourself up to fail with the change. So do things in smaller increments to start with, and then go bigger as the change gets easier.
Now the best part about is creating your plan is making sure that it's going to be a journey that you actually enjoy, because it is your journey. Now don't forget guys, you're only here once, okay? And in that once, you want to pack in as many great, fantastic memories and journeys and challenges that you want to create, and you want to break through them all, because it's all about building who you are and what you believe yourself to be. Like I said, you may believe something about you now, but you can change that belief just like that.
I think, personally, I think everyone knows the answers. Everyone knows what they have to do to make change. It's whether you've got the courage to do it. Deep down, we all know what we've got to do. It's just being brave enough to do it and putting steps and processes in place to make sure you can do it.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah.
So if you basically look at making some change, start small, and then keep building it up from there. And then once you start seeing results change, you look for different and better ways to do things.
So within doing that and doing tiny steps, here you're going to find out more so about your own behaviours. What sort of behaviours will you need to change? Because we all have patterns, and within those patterns are obstacles. So if you're wanting to make a change, most likely those previous obstacles will pop up again. So let's recognize what they would be. And with those, I want you to create a strategy. Just think of one whilst we're going into the other interview. Just think of one and create another strategy. Okay, see you in a minute.
Well, for me, very difficult. It requires a lot of mental strength to actually make myself change. More because I don't initially realise just how beneficial the change is going to be. And then suddenly once you actually make the first step, it's remarkable how addictive the actual change becomes, and the behavioural change follows suit and becomes very easy.
One of the most difficult things to do, but again I think it's if you have a situation where you haven't behaved as you want to, or if you haven't exhibited behaviour that serves you in the best possible way, to try and learn from that, to not shy away from that, and keep moving forward, because it is a journey. And I find taking yourself out of the situation, maybe analysing what you've done, how you've responded and how you could do it better, and then understanding what some of your triggers are.
Okay, welcome back. So, those strategies, let's just remember that we are talking about a state of mind, that you actually created those thoughts about who you are and what your boundaries are. So, really, we can just blow them out of the water, and basically you're just resetting the way you think about yourself. Like I said, yes, there will be urges, there will be cravings. It took a while to create them, so it's going to take a while to break them. But, like I said, we're going to do them in tiny steps. Now, let's just have a think about that, and what a relief. You can change who you are. Now, discipline is a key. It's a scary word to many, but it is the truth. It requires discipline to be able to change behavioural habits. It takes discipline to be able to continue with your behavioural habits. It actually becomes a healthy habit, and more to the point is it's extremely rewarding, if not more rewarding than actually achieving the goal.
Persistence is number one. I think also in the first instance, I'm very forgiving on myself. So in the first instance of trying to make the change but failing, don't be hard on yourself. Just be persistent and keep giving it a go. Eventually the change will come. And as I said before, when it does, it's liberating. It really is. It makes you feel fantastic.
So number 6 is reassessing your plan. However many little tiny steps you've taken, make it in about 3 weeks or to every month or something. Just quickly reassess where you're at with your plan. You know, is it easy? Is it okay? Are you getting through it? Or is it a little hard and you're not keeping up with the plans? Because at any time you can go back and you can change them or alter it. Planning, or the 6 stages of planning again. So starting off at 1 is thought, and understanding where that thought comes from and why you actually want to make a change. Number 2 is voicing it. Telling others and asking and allowing them to understand why you want to make those changes. 3 is changing your surroundings, making sure that everything around, or at least trying to alleviate yourself of obstacles being so in your face. 4 is planning, understanding exactly how, why, what, where and when you're going to perform the actions that are required. 5, clearly understand the obstacles that have gotten in your past, because no doubt they will present themselves yet again, and more so, create a strategy to overcome those obstacles. And 6 is reassessing your program, making sure that you are on par, or if you need to make any changes to it. So guys, thank you very much for joining us, and I look forward to seeing you next week on our segment of happiness. Bye for now.